One down, one to go. Another election weekend beckons, with some dark horses getting into the final round of the race with renewed confidence stemming from the wave of upsets recorded in the last round. The umpire is blowing its whistle with more vigor for the conduct of this weekend's exercise, assuring voters and contestants that there will be no glitch and no hitch. Today, Political Update will speak to some who hope to govern and some who hope it is the turn of somebody like them. I'm Fisaya Ogunfuyi. Welcome. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, and its 2023 presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar have submitted a letter of petition to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, demanding cancellation of the 25th February 2023 presidential election.
PDP National Working Committee and members of the party's presidential campaign organization at the Abuja Legacy House of the PDP, first gathering after the 25 February presidential and national assembly polls. They came with a common agenda, a peaceful march to the INEC headquarters to register grievances over alleged irregularities in the conduct of the recent presidential election, where the PDP candidate emerged runner-up. The march to INEC led by Atiku Abubakar, with PDP National Chairman Senator Yocha Ayu presenting their letter of grievance to INEC.
We call on INEC not only to cancel the election, but do the needful and conduct a very credible election.
INEC National Chairman, represented by the National Commissioner for Voter Education, Festus Okoye, restated the Commission's allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
If there are remedial issues to be dealt with, we are going to deal with those remedial issues.
Away from the INEC headquarters, a group under the banner of Votes Must Count International Initiatives enjoined INEC to reawaken citizens' confidence going forward.
The leadership of INEC did not host an election with the influence of the Electoral Act.
The Senator Usman Wowo led People's Forum Abuja, on the contrary, enjoined aggrieved political parties and their candidates to seek legal redress rather than acts that may breach the nation's enduring peace.
And we believe that whatever the outcomes from the court, every of them will be abided by it, rather than taking law into our hands.
They urged politicians to demonstrate sincere love for the country above every other consideration.
Meanwhile, supporters of the All Progressives Congress APC have commended the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC for conducting what they described as transparent presidential election that produced Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president-elect. Members at a solidarity rally at the INEC headquarters called on those aggrieved with the outcome of the presidential election to follow the rule of law and avoid conduct contrary to public peace.
Nigerian people, yes, will not tolerate any attempt by the PDP, failed government and other party to truncate the transition process.
Yes. Correct.
For the record, we will not tolerate PDP gathering anywhere in our.
Glitches experienced in the upload of polling unit results at the Presidential and National Assembly elections will not repeat itself in the March 11 polls, and staff engaged in unprofessional conduct will not participate in subsequent elections. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu stated this at a meeting with resident electoral commissioners in Abuja.
It is 1 week after the Presidential and National Assembly elections. INEC Chairman meeting resident electoral commissioners for post-mortem. Professor Mahmoud Yakubu visibly not happy with some challenges encountered during the exercise, particularly in the upload of polling unit results.
Since last week, the Commission has intensified the review of the technology to ensure that glitches experienced, particularly with the upload of results, are rectified. We are confident that going forward, the system will run optimally. All staff found to be negligent, whether they are regular or ad hoc officials, including collation and returning officers, must not be involved in the forthcoming elections. RECs must also immediately initiate disciplinary action where prima facie evidence of wrongdoing has been established against any staff involved in the election, whether regular or ad hoc.
Despite these challenges, 7 political parties won 98 senatorial seats, while 8 political parties won 325 House of Representatives seats. APC coming top, then PDP, LP, NNPP, SDP, YPP, and ADC.
While supplementary elections will be held in 46 constituencies.
March 11, 2023 is another day of contest for 28 governorship seats and 993 state houses of assembly slots.
The bimodal voter accreditation system, the BVAS, will once again be deployed for voter accreditation and result management.
After this contest, attention will be shifted to Kogi and Bayelsa states' governorship elections slated for November this year.
Ahead of this Saturday's governorship and state houses of assembly elections, strategic commanders of police formations have been charged to provide the needed leadership to ensure peaceful atmosphere for the electorate and those on election duty. Inspector General of Police Usman Alkali Baba gave the directive at a meeting with strategic commanders at the force headquarters in Abuja. We hear from Francis Form.
Use this forum to convey my sincere appreciation and commendation to you all seated here.
The police chief, IGP Usman Alkali Baba, is impressed with the performance and conduct of his men at the last week's presidential and National Assembly elections, but wants an improvement.
I charge you all to recommit yourselves to national duty and sustain the high operational level that is attracting a broad commendation to the force.
Here he is meeting them for another national assignment. It is about this week's governorship and state assembly elections. Nothing less is expected from you, Alkali Baba told strategic commanders.
You must be prepared to work more assiduously towards providing the requisite strategic leadership in your various posts for your personnel in guaranteeing an electoral and general public space that will remain stable, peaceful, and secure enough to keep citizens in no doubt of our unwavering commitment to their yearning for a credible electoral process.
IGP Alkali Baba reminded the strategic commanders of the force to see towards their operations within the rule of law and remain non-partisan, firm and supportive to INEC.
I also admonish parents and guardians to prevail on their children and wards to resist the urge of being recruited as canon conductors or disciplining agents to disrupt our electoral process. The Nigerian police will be allowed to its responsibility.
Towards dousing the tension that may have arisen in the presidential and National Assembly elections, IGP Alkali Baba applauds the initiative of the Lagos and some states' commissioners of police on peace and ordered other CPs to follow suit. IGP Alkali Baba assures Nigerians and the international community of the force's commitment to protection of lives and property with strict adherence to the rules of engagement.
It is the governorship and state assembly elections this weekend, and earlier we had the New Nigeria People's Party's governorship candidate for Cross River State, Wilfred Bonse, who assures the people of his state that they will get a good deal if his party is given the chance at the helm.
Where it is now, because the big names have put us in a status quo that we do not love and do not want to have. And like you already know, the narrative is changing. The elections of today are about the personalities much more than the party. So despite the fact that we're a very new party in the state, our chances are as good as any other candidates, if not better.
All right, moving quickly to the low-hanging fruits. If people of the state give your party and you a chance at the helm, what are the low-hanging fruits and what are the things on your entry and the to-do list?
Usually you say 100 days in office. You want to benchmark an administration on that basis. We don't need 100 days. Within the next 30 to 60 days, we want to show Cross Riverians that we are hitting the ground running and that we are serious about the transformative development that we are promising to give to them. So within the first 60 days, in fact, God helping us and we win, as soon as I announced as governor-elect of Cross River State, we immediately move out to get our foreign partners to, queue up, so that once we are sworn in, we hit the ground running with the massive developmental reorganizations that we in the area of the agro sector, agro-industrialization sector, which of course is what Cross River State could thrive in very, very, very well, around the world as a supplier. Some of the countries that supply the world, most of these things are not as big as Cross River State, and we have the best level arable land. I was born, from when I was born till now, I have not seen my father use fertilizer in his piece of farmland. All they do is crop rotation, as well as shifting cultivation, and they get the best crop. So we're going to concentrate on that and give the people something to really be proud of.
Will you be, talking about general agricultural practices, or are you going to target some crops in terms of, supplies or perhaps exportation as well?
Yeah, we have in Cross River State, we have king crops. We have the yam, we have the cassava, we have the cocoa, and then we have, of course, the rice as well as some other side crops. We're going to concentrate on those things and add value, value chain addition, because that's the only way we can get real more. If you export cocoa and then get in chocolate, you haven't done much to the people. So we're going to set up all those industrial value chain addition industries within the environment to create jobs, to create value, and also upscale our position on the map, on the global map of relevance.
All right. A lot of people have said that your state is, should be a one-stop shop as far as tourism is concerned. Would you be shifting focus from that, or is there any plan to perhaps scale up, that sector?
That sector already is globally known as a potential that is still latent. So we will be getting in tourism investors and investments to upscale that. We have everything every other country in Africa has, including, of course, the tropical rainforest that is the biggest in Africa as we speak. We will be developing that maximally, making Cross River the destination of the world as far as tourism is concerned. So there's no downscaling. You only mentioned the low-hanging fruits, which, of course, that it's going to take a lot of investment in that area. So within the first 1-2 years, Nigeria should be proud that Cross River is part of the map.
All right, before I let you go, a lot of people have said, or development experts have said, while developing infrastructure, you must not leave the human content. Because if you develop infrastructure more than the human, then they might, not use the infrastructure properly. If you develop the human more than the infrastructure, then they migrate. How do you marry these two concepts?
Very simple. In development, for instance, the marriage point or the nexus between them is getting the advanced technologies, advanced knowledge-based entities to come in and develop the ground base in build, operate and transfer models, as well as build, operate and own models. For instance, you have those entities coming, train the hands on ground, and eventually phase out and let the hands on ground take over. In build, operate and owns also, you have percentages in that particular area. That is general. Apart from which fact, we are massively going to overhaul the educational sector. Cross River used to be a very, very relevant state in the area of education. Now we are at the bottom of the ladder, and if you have people like a Fedon coming from Nigeria, you have consultants par excellence that can actually change most of what we find now down there without as much as we thought necessary to make that happen. We intend to exploit all of that to the benefit of Cross River.
Let me ask you this question that people want to ask.
Yes.
Can you win?
Yes, I can. Absolutely. I can.
Still talking about the governorship race, and there seems to be a momentum gathering pace for the women folk in Adamawa. There is a woman on the ballot, Senator Aisha Binani, former senator for Adamawa North, Binta Masi Gaba, in an interview earlier in the week, says Adamawa State loves its women.
I see Binani clinching the seat. Why? Because she has done what is expected of a legislator, bringing the dividend of democracy to its people, her people. She has done that to the extent that in Adamawa today, religion will not play its stand or ethnic activities. But the Binani that has been in the House of Representatives and now in the Senate has gone into the thresholds of what other men couldn't. And I think most women in Adamawa State, irrespective of religion or ethnic group, will stand with Binani. And I, as a woman, I have no option is to see that this battle is not us battle alone. It is the battle of every Nigerian woman, irrespective of your status. This is the time for us to break the jinx and pull down the glass ceiling. For once, a woman from northern Nigeria is among the powers that will be the governor of a state, and I have no doubt Senator Binani will be that woman. Adamawa as a state does not force anybody to bring out someone, but once if that person is being presented by the people, then definitely that person will be comfortable. But like I said, Adamawa, you have the power blocks, you have the elites, you have the politicians, and you have the grassroots people. But sometimes the grassroots stand on their own. This issue of godfatherism, I think in Adamawa is no more. Because the most important thing is to see, can she or can he delivered? So in the 3 senatorial districts, we are being given the privilege by our people. Senator Grace Ben from the southern part was one time a senator. My humble self from the northern part of Adamawa, and now the incumbent senator from the central. She's from the central. So the 3 senatorial districts have been fair to the women. And when you bring these women together into a battle to see that we women in Adamawa State will come out and say, this is the woman, irrespective. We don't want to know who she is, her religious background, wherever, but we know that she can be the one that will be the Messiah that will bring the change in Adamawa State. So I will tell the people of Adamawa, thank you very much for having confidence in the woman, or in we as women, but now the confidence lies on one woman that stands to be the Queen Amina of our generation, and I will strongly believe that she will break and make history. I will call on all the people of Adamawa State and even Nigeria at large that God has done his own bit. We can't change it, but there are some certain things that we need to put in the right perspective. We should look at the generality of our state first. Adamawa State is a civil service state. Now, if we want to come out of that mindset and look for someone that can bring investment into Adamawa State, where most of our youths can be employed. And if we are now we have to get out of this issue of tribal sentiment, religious sentiment. Unfortunately for us, the PDP is a Muslim, the APC is a Muslim, the Labour Party is a Muslim, and the SDP is a Muslim. So issue of religion shouldn't be a place for us in Adamawa State. But again, among all those, one woman stands among all the men that are going into that election. Now we have tried the men. I think it is best practice for us now to see, we should try the woman who has broken all barriers to be where she is at sit now, so that we can now say, hey, put it on a scale of preference and see what has she done when she was in the House of Representatives, now in the Senate, and now even during the primaries, she has done something nobody can do. Looking at how do I empower a man or a woman. So her empowerment, nobody can fault it. So if that woman can have that issue of, we have too many youths redundant, doing nothing, and we want to see how we can bring investment to Adamawa State, I think that thing we should give her a nod and give her a try.
All right, Senator Bintamasi Gaba there. Moving on now, the inter-party Advisory Council, IPAC, has charged the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to improve on its performance in the 25th February 2023 presidential election and address the shortcomings and complaints raised by political parties and their candidates in future elections. This was part of resolutions reached after the Council's general meeting in Abuja.
These stakeholders acknowledged the voting strength of the North Central Geopolitical Zone that led to the successes of the All Progressives Congress in the last 3 cycles of elections, in which the party came out top at the center since its formation in 2013.
As a sagacious leader, we have no fear about your ability to fetch the best hands for further assignment. Politics is over. It is now time for governance, which is why we also lend our voice to the call on the opposition to accept, as Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, extend a hand of fellowship to them in the interest of peace and our shared interest for the development of Nigeria.
Meanwhile, Ibo Kwenu for Tinubu and Shetima has appealed to Nigerians to join hands and work with the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the task of sustaining the gains and rebuilding the country.
Even with statistics, none of these two parties have got the moral standard, the statistics standard to do what we've been able to achieve. APC won the election because we believe that God, who knows how to put the right people in the right place, will bring him on board authority of power to serve Nigeria.
The group acknowledged the active participation of Nigerians towards building a lasting democracy beyond 2023.
That was North Central Progressives Congress stakeholders and other stakeholders expressing confidence in the President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu that he will make his government a youth-friendly one. Now, before we go, Senator representing Cross River North, Senatorial District, Senator Agom Jarigbe, has called on the Inspector General of Police to ensure the prosecution of those involved in electoral crimes during the last election. Senator Jarigbe was speaking when he briefed National Assembly correspondents on various electoral offences in Cross River North Senatorial District during the just concluded National Assembly elections.
Some persons were paraded by the police command in Cross River State allegedly for perpetrating election violence in the just concluded presidential and National Assembly elections held on the 25th of February 2023. I call on the Inspector General of Police to immediately use his good offices to put a stop to this show of shame going on in Cross River State.
All right, that will conclude political update for today. Don't forget, we're counting down the days to the governorship and State House of Assembly elections this weekend. As usual, the Nigerian Television Authority will be there to give you all the events as they unfold across the state, with the studios spread across the 4 corners of Nigeria, and our intrepid reporters on ground to give you blow-by-blow account, just like we did in the past election. My name is Fisal Gunfi. Thanking you for staying tuned. All the best. Enjoy the rest of your week, and you know we're going to the second crucial weekend of elections. So play your politics for the greater good. Bye-bye now.